Guys, I have a serious problem. Well, at least that's what my girlfriend thinks, but what she doesn't realize is I actually have a finely tuned skill for finding treasure, and I just hit the jackpot. Now, what's in this trailer is about to turn the tables on the doubters and prove that my nightly Facebook Marketplace scrolling is a huge asset, not a liability. And you can already tell this thing's gonna be insane by this genuine crocodile head hood ornament. Now, before we pop the top on this trailer, I've got to give you a bit of a backstory and how we even came across this thing. I was scrolling Facebook Marketplace at work, which I probably shouldn't have been, but I came across a go-kart that wasn't just any normal go-kart. It was a 3-cylinder, 140 horsepower, 2-stroke go-kart. So we dropped everything we were doing and drove over 10 hours to go see this thing. And when we got there, we were in for much more of a surprise than I could have ever imagined. This thing came with huge Hoosier tires, a wet nitrous kit, and even a homemade rocket booster with homemade rocket fuel.
Holy bajoli.
How's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Are you Billy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Barry.
Nice to meet you, Barry. It's like a what?
It's a rocket engine. I got some fuel, you can have it too. The fuel's a little old, and the issue with that is potentially I might have stored it in a dry place, but like it dries out and like little cracks can form, so it burns a little too fast and like might eject the nozzle, like it'll shear the bolts off. But I don't know, it could or could not be okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, this crazy machine also came with a whole bunch of other really weird stuff, but instead of telling you about it, I want to just show you. So let's pull it off the trailer and check it out. It's even crazier than it looked yesterday. Now that we have it here. It's ours. I don't even know what this thing is. Well, it's off. It's off. All right, now that we have this cart off the trailer, there is a lot to unpack here, and there is so many things that I do not understand. We have never had a powerful 2-stroke motor, so it's kind of interesting to look at because I've never actually seen one in person. We have a quick disconnect steering wheel. That I do understand. We have a dash, a standalone ECU, front brakes, and this was designed by some master jankifier who built it really well, if that makes sense. It's like built really well in a very janky way. We've got 3D printed foot pedals right here, the crocodile head piece. We've got 3 exhaust pipes. What is that?
The air filter?
It's like an air filter off a V8 attached to a homemade plenum that looks like it was 3D printed. We have a wet nitrous kit. I've never actually used a wet nitrous kit, but it looks insanely advanced. We've got some solenoids to actuate everything. Honestly, I haven't even sat in this thing or seen it run at all. So, let's see.
Yeah,
Do we fit?
That seat looks kind of small. Do you fit?
Very nicely. Oh my goodness, this is already horrifying, dude. You're right next to these extremely hot pipes, a screaming engine that is held on with some Home Depot metal switch panel that I don't understand. There's a screen on here. Look at this. So I guess it doesn't really do anything when you turn it on. We've got 2 switches. So one right here turns on the lights that this also has. It's the first machine that has lights in the bum shop. Check that out. Front light. We've got brake lights. I wonder if this thing is gonna start up. We haven't heard it run. I think it's gonna sound crazy with those little pea shooters on the back.
Yeah, the exhaust looks crazy.
There's a switch right here. So I don't know if this is the on switch. This looks like a fan switch.
Yeah.
We got a fan switch. Do we have gas? Like a smidgen of fuel, maybe
Okay.
we'll start. My experience with 2-strokes is they're extremely, extremely hard to start. So if this thing just starts up, I think we've got a golden product. The guy who made this said that he was able to go over 100 miles an hour on it. which is insane. It's got a snowmobile clutch and some just wizardry going on. Is there a pull start? Is it electric start? How's this work?
There's got to be a pull start somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
Wait, how does this work?
Oh.
The dash is not lighting up. He did say that this was the NOS button, so if you press this, so you're already going like 100 miles an hour, and then you press this, it actuates the NOS, and then it kicks on the jet engine, which we'll talk about later, but we have the jet engine that will be attached on the back in some capacity. You press that, and then you go like 200 miles an hour. It's a whole bunch of fun.
Oh, it's so close.
It sounds a lot quieter than I was expecting.
It needs to warm up a little bit, I think.
Okay, this is the final pull.
No way.
That is insane! Holy cow, look, the dash turned on! So look, you've got a CVT right behind your back. Can you see that?
There's a brake on it.
That's insane. So we have an axle brake and 2 front brakes. That's more brakes than we have on anything in the shop. That sounds like an F1 car.
That sounds really powerful.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe how quickly it fired up. Honestly, this is like the most complete, insane project that we've never actually bought someone else's project. And for it to start up with 3 to 5 pulls, that's not bad. Now we've got to figure out how to get the power from this engine to the rear wheels, because it is a project and it's missing a couple of things like sprockets and chains that's in a box somewhere on our shelf. So let's strip this down and figure out how it really operates. Now that we've got this giant Hoosier tire out of the way, you can really start to see what's going on here. And it's super simple, but really cool. You have 2 axle locations, one in the back for your drag setup, and one way back here for your drift setup. And those hold 2 different styles of tires. This smaller tire is gonna be your drift setup. And I think it's gonna give you a faster acceleration and allow you to drift, whereas those big tires in the back are gonna hook up and give you a slightly faster top speed, but be slower on the acceleration. So for the first test, I think we're gonna swap this axle in, use these smaller tires, and probably just absolutely rip. But we've gotta get this whole thing set up, and then we can actually give it a test. Our new axle's in and everything's ready to go, but before we install our tires, I just want to take a second and touch base on the craftsmanship of this build. Check out how the chain is tensioned. We've got a skateboard wheel on a door hinge that goes to a string and then to a spring, and that keeps everything nice and tight. And it's crazy because all of this was designed with the ability to have a second axle, which is just super cool. I don't know, I just wanted to show that before we put the wheel on because it's gonna hide everything. And I think that is some pretty ingenious stuff. All right, we've got our wheels on. The engine power is connected to the rear wheels, and this thing should just start up and roll. But we're gonna do a quick little test in the shop just to make sure that everything works really well, and then we'll take it out to the runway and give it a proper test. Let's start it up. I hope it just starts right up. It's been super chilly, like in the 20s at night, so hopefully. Wait, that switch needs to be on?
Yeah.
Does this switch need to be on? Wait, these switches need to be on? There's so many switches. First pull! Fired right up! The brakes don't work at all!
Really?
No! You just stop with rolling resistance. Holy cow! well, we know that it rolls, but the brakes don't work at all. So I think we're gonna have to bleed the brakes, and then we can take this thing out to the runway. I already know it's gonna be powerful. Because it's a two-stroke, it has a really weird power band. You press on the throttle, nothing happens, and then it all happens at once. I can tell that this thing is gonna be absolutely horrifying, but we gotta fix those brakes. We have 3 of them and none of them work. Of course they don't work. It's a bum show. So our brakes are actuating, but I think there must be some kind of air in the system, because if you check this out, I press the brake pedal and it is moving, but when you spin it with your hand,
What the?
there was no bolts on this wheel? Well, we have bolts on this wheel. I'm glad we didn't try to do our 100-mile-an-hour speed run with this. We might want to check all the bolts on this thing, make sure things are Loctited down. And we've got to figure out what's going on with these brakes, because this was the project that I knew for sure was going to stop, but it's not. So that's a problem. We'll fix those things and then take it for a speed test. All right, it's all come down to this. We've got this machine fully sorted out. Well, at least I think. We've got all the lug nuts on the tires and 2 brakes that work. I don't know about the rear one, but that's more brakes than we've ever had. We also have this humongous long road that's gonna allow us to hit max speed on this thing. But before we do that, I wanna do a bit of a shakedown test, because as we've been working on this thing, I found out that most of the nuts and bolts are torched down with hopes and dreams, not foot-pounds. But when we do our top speed test, we have a couple of tricks up our sleeve that I think are gonna allow us to go even faster. We actually got blessed with the perfect day to test this out. There is no moisture on the ground, which is super important when you're testing a machine like this out. And I think Taylor is gonna test this for the first time, because I tend to break things a little bit more than you, so.
True.
We want to keep this thing alive, at least for the day. Hopefully it's still a one-pull wonder like it was in the shop.
So these switches, I think we're good. You want to give it a crank?
I'll give it a rip.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Holy cow! One-pull wonder? This thing rips! Is it scary with it on?
Oh yeah.
You have the ability to hit over 100 miles an hour.
That is so frightening.
Taylor's never really driven a two-stroke, so he's gonna have fun with that power band. It revs up to 10 or 12,000 RPM, which is just insane, honestly, and I don't really know how the power kicks in. I know that it doesn't really want to go right off the line, but I think it's gonna absolutely rip when you hit that power band. You can hear him from a mile away. He is so far down that road.
The brakes work so good.
They do?
Yeah, they have no problems at all.
I can barely hear what you're saying.
Here, let me turn around real quick.
What do you think, bro?
Oh my gosh, dude. It's actually, okay, it's scary. It's really fast. The power band is weird because it's a two-stroke, but it actually feels pretty locked in.
It looks like everything is working. You pulled a whip right over there and the chain didn't fall off?
Nothing, no.
You think the brakes are gonna work at 100 miles an hour?
I don't know how fast I just went, probably like 40. It's not for the faint of heart, but it's actually really good.
It's really funny to see the confidence that Taylor has when he hasn't seen the machine built. He's absolutely flying in this thing. And I looked at those engine mounts. I think there's like 2 of them and they're plugged into some Home Depot metal. So I'm a little concerned, to say the least, but it looks absolutely diabolical and it sounds even better.
I did the launch a couple of times down there because it was, dude, it feels so impressive. It's like a model, like it's like a Tesla Plaid. I was like, you hold the brake. I got it down, hold the brake a little bit till it revs up. Oh, dude, out of breath acceleration.
What's it feel like to drive a machine that you weren't part of building?
You know, I thought it was gonna be a lot scarier at first. I was a lot more scared getting on this thing because of that. But then I realized I'm scared of driving the things we built because I know how they were built. And with this, I can just be totally ignorant to the fact and be like, yeah, it was built perfect and I can just drive it.
I'm genuinely impressed with how this machine is operating. Nothing has broken, and you were driving it like a maniac on the Shakedown, dude.
Dude, it was just too good.
We were testing if the bolts were gonna fall off. We did spinner wheelies and had a GPS rolling. We hit 55 miles an hour. That's the first time I've ever seen you go speedy in a speed test.
It just felt too solid not to, dude.
This thing is a solid machine. Even though it looks a little bit jank, it's definitely way better than anything we've ever built. But now it's time to do the speed test. And we've got two things that are gonna help us out with that. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to use one. We've got the wet nitrous kit, which is over here. And this is a proper nitrous kit. We usually have nitrous on a lot of our machines, but it's dry nitrous, and we just shove it into an untuned carburetor, which doesn't really do much besides, I mean, it makes flames and sounds
Damage
cool.
the engine, too.
Damage, like the Amazon four-wheeler. But this is a proper setup. We've got some solenoids, and then we also have this separate mix tank, so it injects this fuel with the NOS and gives you something. I don't know what it gives you. It all operates off this little switch that we're gonna have to have in a better spot. But this little switch, you just press it. I'm not gonna do it right now.
So jank, but...
And then you go 100 miles an hour. Do you think?
I don't know.
We also brought the rocket. Check this thing out. We're not able to use it because it is so unbelievably dangerous. I'll show you in a second. But this is the rocket, and this is how it connects. So you take this thing, which, just for a size reference, is taller than me, and you jam it full of this really janky rocket fuel, and then you put it right here. And then someone sits in the driver's seat, and someone comes over here with a match and sticks it inside of this chamber, igniting the fuel. And then I think you hit an insane speed. Check out this video. Now, after seeing that video, you guys probably understand why it'd be a little irresponsible if we lit this off on a public street. But if this video gets 12,000 likes, we'll throw the giant Hoosier tires on, install the rocket, jam it full of homemade rocket fuel, and ignite it, and hit some diabolical speed at the salt flats. But for now, we've got to see how fast this thing's gonna go, so I'm gonna get my suit on and hopefully hit some crazy speed. Okay, we're actually taking PPE pretty seriously with this one. I've got a full race suit on because we're gonna be using the NOS. And I've already tinkered around with this system a little bit, and I've found out that it does leak. But if you come over to this side, you'll see when we turn it on, it should pressurize. Nice. Pressurizing. And
There's the leak.
Okay, it's leaking a little bit. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna activate it going about 40 miles an hour so we hopefully don't spin the tires and crash and burn. But we do have a fire extinguisher on site as well. So we're fully doing this the right, special, safe way to hit the fastest speed possible. I think we just start it up and rip down that road and see what we can't get. It's quite a jam with the suit in this thing, dude.
I bet.
But we do have this nice janky GPS holder. So you guys are gonna be able to see the speed real time through this GoPro. And then we've got our NOS button. So I'm honestly a little scared to press this.
I would be.
I'm a little nervous. Seeing how fast you went, I hope it doesn't, I don't know how it works. That's what scares me the most. Like, do you press this button and it starts a chain reaction that you can't stop? Oh man, I can't see jack. You can't be scared when you're doing a speed test, so
We gotta lock in, boys. I just press this little switch. All I gotta do, I gotta press this, and we're gonna hit the full blast of roof.
Man, there's a reason Will usually breaks the stuff because he just hammered it the whole way. I don't know how fast it was. I went 55, it sounded like it was topping out. Sounds like it's topping out right now. We'll find out. Make it stop! Holy moly! That foot pedal almost broke off. Holy! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I think he almost didn't have enough braking space there.
Brother, I was kind of worried that you were gonna go off the road right there.
Every bump, I was lifting off the ground. And you will not believe the speed that we got. Come over, come take a little walk with me and experience how unbelievably fast we were going.
Were you full the whole time? Full throttle?
No.
No?
No. I did not have the cojones to go all the way.
Dude,
I was still had maybe a quarter throttle.
it's scary, isn't it?
It was really scary when the 3D printed foot pedals twisted and I lost my brakes. Like, I flew past you right there, pressed this, and it went like, oh, we went so fast we knocked off our good luck charm.
Oh.
I pressed this.
Oh, and
it
twisted?
went yoink, and then all of a sudden I didn't have brakes, and I was like, this is the time we take the launch.
Dude, I was like, he's coming in really hot to the end.
When you hit the NOS, it's like straight out of Fast and the Furious.
Is it really?
It's like, whoa!
So it's an extra level of acceleration.
It hits you to the next level. But look at our GPS. Look at that speed. 98.9 miles an hour in a homemade craft. And it could easily, like, if we really wanted to, it could probably go like 130 miles an hour. Easy. Without the rocket.
That is the scariest thing ever.
That was that's the most scared. There's a little bump on the road down there. That's the most scared I've ever been. I hit that jump and it was like, gunk.
Well, it's so stiff that it doesn't,
When you hit the notch, you lose traction at like 80 miles an hour. It kicks like this and you're like, oh.
I was wondering if that was gonna happen.
Scariest thing in my whole entire life. Alrighty guys, that's where we're gonna finish this video off. We hit damn near 100 miles an hour in this thing, but I know it has way more power than that with a rocket, NOS, bigger wheels. So if you guys get this video to 12,000 likes, we'll take this thing out to the salt flats and hit its max speed. That's it for now. Have a great one.